This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi. In the article Oz Bahadra edition, we are on Daf Nun Tes Amud Aleph, where it says Mem Zayin, the abbreviation for Mishnah Zayin. All right, so that is in the Vilna, Daf Lama number base. Um, um, Orishu Yotze Min HaKosel, which is in the Mishnah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 lines down in the Mishnah. And we have a picture of the scenario. It's also a picture in the article. Orishu Yotze Min HaKosel is picture Chav Zayin. In the article, it's a somewhat different picture, but this one has several possibilities. So, Orishu Yotze Min HaKosel, the noise comes out of the wall. We talk Karen at a corner, the Kole, and it ends. Nosis Avodaso Zeres Shar. Give it its avoda, and you can plant everything else. In other words, you have 2 vines over here and 3 vines over here. So Pakistan only have to give 6 tvachim. So it's not a real keren. An oris is either a wall and then a row next to it, a 5, or or we had one which was a total square, but not this. This is not oris. Okay, so it's 6 tvachim, only Tanakama. Um, uh, 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 of Rabbi Yosef, im ein sham arba amos levizer l'sham. Rabbi Yosef says no, you need 4 amos. He holds this is an oris, and you never need 4 amos. Like he has over here, I don't know if you can see, but he says on the bottom it says Votvach Tanakama, and on the side it says Dal amos according to Rabbi Yossi. And he has a different picture over here that would look like this. It's kind of like an oris okum, and the Dal amos would be over here. That's going Rambam. We'll leave that for now. Rabbi Hakanim Yotzim Oris, if you have reeds coming from the Oris, Chasli and the Paskan, you don't want to cut them off. Mutter, connect them mutter. So this is you have a trellis. And from the trellis, there are there are rods sticking out, and I don't know if we have a picture here. No, but so it's not like the case where well, it depends. It says, okay, what's the status of those rods? So if those rods are just you don't want to cut them down, but you don't intend for the vines to continue on in that direction, so you can plant underneath those rods. But if it is eventually the new vines are supposed to crawl along there, also you can't plant on those rods. If you have a perach, I forgot what a perach is. I mean, it means a flower, but I forgot what it means in this context. So it is a foliage of the grapevine where grapes don't grow. So that foliage you can't plant underneath it. But rowing also we look at it as a plumb line hanging down from that foliage to the ground, and opposite that opposite that plumb line, that's where it's also not on the sides of it because nothing growing, no grapes were there. V'chein bedolis, and this is also true by dolis, which is where you have it's not just it's a not just foliage, it's foliage which is coming out of the grapevine, but it's on top of a trellis. doesn't matter. It's the same halacha. If somebody drags and hangs up one of the branches from tree to tree, I guess from Elon Srak to Elon Srak. I don't know if it makes a difference. Maybe it's even from grapevine to grapevine. Also underneath that branch, it's also the plant. Safka bechevel obegami. What if you supported it with a yeah? So the sounds on the Reb Chaim is saying that it's the story about an Elon Srak, and it's also, even though they didn't make that bridge of a branch in order for the grapevine to travel across it, to grow across it, but even just to support it, that living bridge makes it as if it's going to continue further, and therefore can't plant under the entire branch. If you put in a rope from tree to tree, not a living branch, obekemi, use rope or a hemp line. Sipuk mutter. If you underneath the part of this rope, but you didn't intend for anything to grow, it's mutter. So only if you made it in order that the new growth should go that way, then it's also the plant under the entire length of the rope. Okay, as says, ask her, lays the pliga Rabbi Zira. That would the Gemara said at the beginning. Mishnah said at the beginning. It said kol midos. What's this? Second line of Mishnah said kol midos shemachal mekem ein b'hem va'od chutzi piskei aris. There's no va'od except for between the in the case of the oris. So it says another shmona chutzi markum kartin. The eight amos is besides the trunks. So the trunks themselves take up some space. So we see it's like shmona va'od. So pasala shmona amos ve'koshu. So it's no, it's part of the question. So that's we explained that's 8 amos and something more because you have to have place for the krosim. So why is that mentioned on Mishnah? Velotis barkidam Rabbi Yochanan kol midasham va'od tefach. And don't give me the answer. Rabbi Yochanan said all the meanings of the comment said va'od is normally a tefach. Vahin ruba riba tzivchar, and here it is more because of course there are more than a tefach. So that's why it's not mentioned. That actually, I'm not sure if I read that with the right inflection. No, I didn't. It's an answer. So that the question was, we see Malcolm Carson is vote. So he says, lo tisbar kidam rabbi lo tisbar kidam lo. It's like lo tisbar. It should be the vote should take it out. Lo tisbar can explain like this possible like this. Kidam rabbi Yechon kom mishom mekayim v'od tefach. Vahin ribot sivchar. And the place of the Korsin is more than a tefach. Lefun kein lo tenisa. Okay, so all the 8, where it says 8 amos, it's literally 8 amos, except where it's 8 amos in a tefach, which is our Mishnah. And there's another case, which is not mentioned in Mishnah, it's more than a tefach. It's not a kosher, it's more a tefach. That's a place of where you have to take the korsim into account. Rabbi Yonah Boy. Rabbi Yonah asked, Lama le anumrim kol mishon chami em ben v'od chutz me piske oris. Here's lane on. We would normally translate as lama lace on omrin, but here it really means lama. Why do we say? Um, so he wants to say the Reb Chaim. That's what it says. Lo me'emin kol mido shemachol me'emin bo chutz piskeres, not just the 8 amos and the keren, but kol mido shemachol me'keren, but kol midos, right? Don't have no except piskeres. So, and that the Gemara says, I'll tell you why. Because there are other cases of Va'od. What's another case of Va'od? But here, Asoretz Kami Yerushalmi Shem Shisha Soini Duyan. The Rikike Nazir come from 10 kav and a Kemach, which is six kav and the Duyan, and their Va'ods. So you see, there is a Va'od in other places besides Keren, right? Taman Lamidos says Gemara, no, that's not comparable. That's only that's by Midos Keli, but I'm talking about Kan Amos. So why don't we say all the? Sorry, the Kan Amos. I'm talking about for Amos. There's only no other ode. So don't bring your rival. We find odes by measures. I'm talking about by Amos. But I think we learn this. I'm sure we have an ode kav lemeo, sa shtus lemeduma. The ode. Therefore, it is in Shumas. It says that Shumas oila in 100 chulin, which is mea, mea chulin and 1 Shuma, and Rabbi Yossi Shuma says you don't need you don't need 100 of chulin, because even mea va'od is enough, which is one kav from 100. Okay, it gives the explanation there in Trumas. So again, the Gemara says, "Tam lemidas kan lamos." It's not the same. That's midas. This is amos. But at the end, didn't we learn Amar be Yudah ben Bava Hagina Bakarvat Shishivim Vishiraim Ashivim Shiraim? There's where you have to have a base saw. The shear is 70 and a remainder, 70 a remainder. Shmuel Amar B'shnei Shlishi Amos Shanu. Shishi says that's 2/3 of an amma. And below Shani ben Shabana Gader Chachach Nota Achadas Ekvanim ben Shanota Achadas Agana V'Chachach Bona Gader. Well, actually, this is a new thing. So it's an answer. Shmuel Ma B'Shnei Shlishi Amma Shonu is the answer. I mean that the old word talking about is the old of a tefach, and then it's 2 shlish of an amma, so it's larger. Since 2 shlish of an amma, that doesn't count. That doesn't count as another va'od, even for amos, because that doesn't fit into the grammar of a tefach, which we're dealing with over here as being the definition of va'od. And that brings us to the 2 dots at the top of Samach Hamanav. So we'll stop here for today.